Okay. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome. So, Thursday. Tonight, I was hoping to have the number of people on like we had last night to have a nice discussion and talk about a few different things. But I do see we've got a couple of people who might not have been on before. I think Robin's been on before. Skip, I'm not sure if you've been on before. But yeah, let's dive into this and see where we go from here. So, one of the first things I want to start with today is doing a little screen share to give an update. Last night we had a little discussion in regards to sec, how to use the app, how to set up the bed situation, etc. So let me see if I can pull that up here and give us a view of what I have done in order to facilitate that. And let's double check. You can see my screen. Yes, you can. So when you're on the right now, the referlife.com or the product and information site, if you go to the products, oh, let me see, refresh. Oh, what page am I on? Oh, no, let's go here. Sorry. You got to be on the home page, but if you go to the products link here and go down to how to use charger, I put it right below the biophotonic charger on the products link on the drop down. Click how to use the charger. It's a PDF and it opens and looks like this. So what I've done, this is the spray bottle and utilizing it on the outside of your glasses, your wine glass, and I even do the spray bottle to give a recharge to my structured water that's under my bed. So partway through the week, what I will do is I will pull out my spray bottle and I'll go underneath the bed and I'll spray all around the bottle, spray the top, spray the bottom. And I figured if I can spray a spot on the floor and have it do this, by going and spraying the bottles, it should actually do the same thing and kind of put a recharge into the area there. And I actually do it the same way as I do the setting up of the vortex to go in a counterclockwise. So I go in under my bed with my spray bottle and I spray from the top left, bottom right, top right, bottom left. And we'll show you that in a minute because we've got that broken down for you here also. So again, no matter what it is you're doing, you're pouring yourself a glass of wine, a glass of orange juice, or whatever it is, just simply spray the outside and the bottom completely when you put your fluid into the glass or the container. It will be structured automatically. So for the people who are looking to do underneath their bed with the instructions that we have coming up, that's a really good way to do it, is to take your mason jar, spray it completely, and then fill it up with the water and then run the app over it before you put the cap on it to seal it. And you're trying to make it so that you have no air pocket, if at all possible, under the lid. You would like to have no air in that mason jar or whatever it is, the bottle, whatever it is you're using. So that's how we get started with utilizing our spray bottle, charge our spray bottle with the app. And I charge mine minimum of 2 times to give it a good charge to last, and then put it to work for me from there. So once you've got your spray bottle, you want to go out and put it to work. So you get to spray your face for the women. You want to do this for the hydration. If you want to experiment to find out how powerful and good this is, go ahead and just spray half of your face and leave the other half unsprayed. Give it a good dousing and see how the hydration falls into place. And in turn, you will notice your skin will plump up, your cells are plumping up underneath, and in turn, you are having the wrinkles diminish pretty much right in front of your eyes from the hydration that you're receiving through the spray and the misting of your face. Spraying your kids is going to protect them. So again, we've discussed this, we've touched on these things and how important it is for the young people to be able to actually have a clear mind, to be able to have a good focus, to be not distorted while they're in the process of growing and developmental. So ADHD, all the autism, all of these different things are environmental attacks that could have been triggered to affect the parent, the child itself while in the womb or after birth, and make alterations to the DNA in order to create these issues. So when we're using the protection from the EMF by the spraying and the consumption of the water, we're making healthier human beings all the way around. We're making healthier pets, whether they're your cat or your dog, and they'll tell you whether or not this is good for them or not. We've got some amazing stories in regards to how animals are responding to the structured, energized water. Again, we did mention about spraying on the face and making sure that, if you want to be sure, test it for yourself. Spraying your plants because your plants are live. They basically thrive off the same things that we do. Hence, they will also thrive from the structured, energized water. Spraying your whole body from the top of your head all the way down through all your chakras, you will be neutralizing EMF and you will be creating a much more brilliant aura. And all your chakras are going to be more vibrant, more clear, and your colors will shine through. Your light will shine through, and you will be a stronger, healthier human being with less interference to cloud your mind, cloud your day, affect your cellular activity, to impede your wellness in any way, shape, or form. We don't want an immune system that's compromised because of some internal affliction from EMF or anything that we're doing, whether it's drinking water that's contaminated and we don't know it. We think that we're doing the right things, but in reality, we're not. And, with what we're doing here, we'll come into that a little bit later because that's another thought that I've been having in regards to how we deal with people. So, but let's carry it on down here. We're spraying our pets, we're spraying our food, we're neutralizing the EMF in our food before we consume it. And at the same time, we're adding the frequencies and the biophotonic light energy to the food when we spray it and then consume it. So now it's also going to be more bioavailable, more absorbable. All the goodness that you want out of it is going to be available. The negativity that might be in it would be neutralized. And at the same time, it's like when you wrap this around your kitchen tap and you don't have a water filter and you're using the app or the sprayer on your water, that water now is clustering around the toxins and putting them in a state to be expelled from your body with the water when you do your bathroom trips, etc. So as far as the detoxification, we're looking forward to hearing how deep this really goes. But I know that I remember having some conversations with the developer in regards to the things that we couldn't say. And some of those things, if you can imagine to the depths of the benefits that could be received if the cleansing is going super, super, super deep in regards to be able to um, really have an impact on things that could be considered serious. So, using my words carefully, I'm saying that we don't know the depths of the wellness that we are creating when we consistently consume and spray the energized structured water into our system or on our bodies. Because based on our conversation, I believe that goes really, really deep to afflict almost any kind of thing that could be going on. Again, our main thing here, though, is we're neutralizing the EMF and providing instant protection. In essence, when you drink the water or spray yourself, you're grounding yourself better than we could do it by walking into the field right now, because right now most of these fields are contaminated with 5G because they're putting it everywhere and they have to ground it into the ground. And as long as it's grounding into the ground, it's neutralizing the effects of our ability to go hug a tree and get that relief that we used to get. So with this, we're spraying, we're drinking, we're having our mind clear, and we're improving our overall health and well-being in a big way. So that's some of the uses for the spray. And we're still learning as we go along. Last night we had the comment of somebody spraying their phone, spraying the back of their phone. And because the person is so sensitive, immediately was able to notice a difference in the fact that the phone was less harmful, even more so than it was before. Testing the phone against a regular phone, doing kinesiology is going to show you that the phone, utilizing the app and the frequencies going through the phone and the flashlight, becomes less harmless, changing those attacking spike waves that are coming from all the negative energy into sine waves like our bodies already emit and utilize. And so the phone becomes less harmful all the way around. So here we go. This now is how to set up. This is an energy vortex around your bed. I thought I made a mistake there, but how to set up an energy vortex around your bed. So what we're doing here is we are creating an energy vortex that literally is going to circle the bed in a counterclockwise direction. And while you're in your bed, you are going to be protected because that vortex is going to go at least 5 meters up into the air, 5 meters down into the ground, and that protection is going to be all around the bed, creating a virtual safe space for you to sleep. And in order to do that, you need 4 containers. So here I am using mason jars. And mason jars I find work really well. And the reason they do is because when you fill a mason, these dollar store mason jars, and you fill them to the very top, you can actually create a convex, I guess you would say, effect on the top of the jar. Henceforth, the mason jars have a concaved, I guess, concaved from the top lid. So when you put the lid on, it's actually going to squeeze water out of the top. So you're going to know that you've got a great a jar of water with no air pockets inside. So I do that. I structure my water and then I fill it up into the mason jar or to structure it as it's going into the mason jar and then apply the lid on them, set up my 4 jars. So if you are using like wine bottles or something that can't go underneath the bed, then you're going to want to put them on the outskirts of the bed, like here. So you would put them on the corners of the bed on the outside. If you're using mason jars like I am, and you can fit them under the bed, then they would go like this. Now, once you've got your jars all set and ready to go, you follow the pattern as laid out here. So you will place your first bottle here. So this is you standing at the foot of your bed, looking at the bed. You know you're laying down. Your left shoulder is going to lay here, your right shoulder here. If there's anybody in the bed with you, you got a left and a right here. So now, so you're placing it here, either by the corner or under the bed in the corner. And then you would go to here to place your second bottle, either on the outside or underneath. And then you would go place your third bottle up here. So what is happening? You placed your first bottle here. The energy now resides in this spot. When you place your second bottle here, they start to communicate. So this energy goes to this energy, and it's created a movement. When you place your third bottle here, it now has created a triangle, and the energy has created this flow. And when you put the fourth bottle, it closes the circle, or the square in this case, but creates a circle. And then the energy is flowing in this counterclockwise direction, creating a vortex like you see here. And when you're in the center of this, you are protected. All your energy is yours. Your thoughts are yours. Your sleep will be optimal, and your healing will also be optimal. So, in order to keep this energized and working, you need to recharge these bottles about every 5 to 7 days at the outside. So that is how you create a vortex under your bed. Those instructions are now available to you on the website. So now, this is how we do a 1 meter square on the floor. So when I do this at the mall, it is pretty much exactly like this. And I stand somebody in it. Now, what I am going to add to this is how to do the kinesiology test. I'll add 2 images here to show how you can do the kinesiology test when somebody is standing in the center, so that you've got all the tools that you need in order to perform this. So the same process goes here now. So you just pick the corner that you want to start on. In this case, I'm starting here. And I spray. And so I spray between 2 and 4 sprays at a time in order to solidify that I've got enough water in the spot. And then I'll go across and spray the second spot. And then I'll go up to spray the third spot, creating that triangle and the counterclockwise rotation. And then close it off by spraying the fourth spot. And now you've got that circular vortex going around, and you can stand somebody in there and do the kinesiology test. It's a beautiful thing. I keep telling you about people that I have into the shop. And today I had a woman come in super sensitive to the energy, to the frequencies, etc. And uh, one of the things that she said was, I'm looking for water that will heal me. This is, you know, the universe works in very mysterious ways. And ever since I've been dealing with frequencies, I can tell you that I've seen some of the strangest things over the last 20 years. Being in Toronto, the GTA, and doing my flea market thing, certain points, people would go by and literally freeze as they were walking by my booth because they could feel the energy that was coming from. And people would turn to me and go, and what's going on here? Because whatever it is, it made me stop. And so um, things like these, I've seen people literally jump because they've been shocked by the introduction of frequency into their space when they weren't expecting it. Um, so it's frequencies are super, super powerful. And without them, we have no life. We have nothing. So they are our healing powers with the water frequencies and having the right nutrition available in our bodies to feed us well. We can do amazing things. Do we want to have a competition to see how long we can live? I would love to get in on that one. So now, expanding your areas of comfort, thinking about all the times when you're under attack. If you could spray the floor where your chair is sitting and know that you are in a controlled environment, wonderful. What about if you can spray the seat of your chair and be sitting in a controlled environment where you've created a vortex and you sit within that vortex while you're working on your computer? So automatically, your benefits are compounded, your protection is in place, you're definitely being protected in ways from the energy from your computer and the environment around you, and you're actually healing at the same time in a little bit better way. Because as we know, if you've sprayed your body, you're sitting in an environment, you're doing all the little bits and pieces that this is capable of doing. Everything that you have done has put you in a better situation for your body to take better care of you. It's that simple. And with that said, if anybody has any questions on how this is done, they can feel free to inquire. But I think we've done a pretty good job of laying out exactly how to do it so you can do it yourself. And by all means, do keep track of what you feel and how it affects you, all these different things, even the responses that you get when you're introducing it to others, because it would be great to know how your interactions and experiences um, come out. So, question, why do we not want any air in the top of our jars? Because the air, one thing, the air is contaminated, and now you've got the water that's in there, and with the water all the way to the top, it's with that, with any air, with air in there, it's going to compromise the ability of the water. I believe the way Ian put it was to attract some of the toxins that it's pulling and trap them inside the water itself. Because he said that at certain points, you would notice that you would be collecting black specks in one of the jars depending on the environment that you're in, as it's and how it transfers through the jar into the water itself is beyond me. But all I can tell you is this was the requirement. There's a little, no air, if any air at all, should be in the jar when it's completed. That's the best I can tell you. Okay, so I believe I resolved my speaker question last night, and let us have a little discussion. If we've got some questions we want to do, I know we've done the webinars, we've sent them out, so people should be getting information, and let's just deal with some questions, comments, and just have some conversation for the next little while. And then next week, we'll kick off with a whole new attack on how we deal. So actually, you know what? Let's start our conversation, and anybody can feel free to jump in here. So, as I said, I've been doing frequencies for about 20 years now, and it is not an easy sell, is the best way to put it, in the sense that people need to be educated, people need to be shocked, and they need to be done. And when we're dealing with wellness, it needs to be done in a very, what would we call it, uninvasive way in how we do it. Now, over the 20 years, I do feel that I have become what I would say hard in my approach, whereas I'm here to help people, but if I get resistance, I can, depending on the type of resistance, I can turn on you and make you feel like you're wasting my time in a roundabout sort of way, to put it nicely. So I am always looking to hear how people deal with these things when they're dealing with such a unique but effective and amazing wellness regime protocols. And there's so many different things. And I know certain people have dealt with different products that they have been marketing, who are all within the realm of defying simple explanations. And so it's interesting to learn, how do you find that you can interact with people in a way that lowers their walls in, and not saying that I have issue with it. This is just conversation so that it becomes a teaching moment by having interaction and experiences from everyone. Paula, do you have anything that you would like to contribute on this one? I know you guys deal with a lot of different modalities, et cetera, and you deal with a lot of people. How do you find interacting with new people and introducing them to new things? She might be busy. I'm not sure she's here paying attention, but I will try. Okay, well, we'll see if anybody responds to that. But for me, as I said, it's a trial and error. It's always the experience leading them with sampling of the water. So lately, lot of the things that I've been doing is about making sure that I reinforce with them how these things affect them. So while I am introducing it to them, I will not spray them, and I certainly won't give them any water to drink until I've well got them understanding first how dangerous their cell phone is and how it affects them, how it weakens their body. And so I'm doing the kinesiology test with them with the cell phone on their body. I take the cell phone, I put it 3 meters away from them, and I repeat the test with them. And I'll do that a couple of different times, and I'll do it a couple of different ways in order to make sure that they know that the cell phone is messing you up. It's totally affecting you, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So from there, now is when I would take them and I would stand them in the vortex, because at this point, I haven't sprayed them yet. Again, they haven't drank any of the water, and I can show them the effect of them standing in the vortex and how much stronger they are. Getting the look on their face is always priceless as they look at you and go, yeah, how is that possible? And then I take them out of the vortex and show them you're weak again. So, and I mean literally from one square to the next square, I take them and show them how weak they are, put them back into that square, show them how strong they are again. And now they know that there's a difference between but of course I've sprayed, I always make sure I spray to show them how it's done, either before or after I do the kinesiology test with them. So now we've got them understanding that. And now I would take them outside the square. And I do that with the phone in their possession, because now they already know that they're weak. So if I can just reiterate the fact that when you're standing in the vortex, even with the phone in your pocket, you're still strong. Why that is a good question, but it does work. And so now after I've taken them out of the vortex, I retest them again to show them you're weak again. This is before I now give them their first spray. And depending on the individual, a lot of the times you don't even have to go through the full kinesiology test for them to know that there's a difference, because a lot of people's balances and their ability to stand on one leg or raise one leg is amazing. How many people can't actually do it without wanting to fall over. So, and then once you spray them, and they can do it a lot easier, and they notice that right away before you even attempt to push on them to find out how strong they are. And then, of course, once they are exposed to the strength test and the balance test with the push, um, there's not usually a lot else to say after that. And there's one thing's for sure: everybody who is seeing this is getting it and needs it. And over the course of time, they'll all end up with it in one way or the other. It's everything is going to be a matter of timing. So it's the exposure to the product, the education that we're passing on to people. And we've got a big job ahead when we think of the fact of how many people actually walk around and are convinced in their own mind that everything that they're doing is the best that they can be. Because when people, the average, the average person, because I do believe that the people here on this line are in what we would call a unique small percentage of the masses when it comes to the overall population and how we attack our health and how we attack our life. And so with that, I believe that most people, long as they get up in the morning, they think they're good. Are they willing to do what it takes to actually be healthy, to live long? Most people have given up as soon as they start thinking that they're getting old. They're giving up. And that is certainly not me. And hopefully it's not any of the people that we have on this line here or that we're gathering with that would actually just give up on the fact that you have only one life to live. And at any time, your life can be better. So for me, I only care about one thing now, and that's seeing how many people we can reach, how many people we can help, because now I know that we are doing some of the best things that we can for ourselves. So now that I know that I've got myself covered, let's go help the other people. Let's go see what else we got here. Okay. The jar is capped with the lid, and the lid is tight on the jar. And you want to make sure that you're sealing the energy in. And as we said, you've removed a lot of the water you've squeezed out. And I mean, that works really good with the mason jar. It literally will squeeze out the water, so you will end up with no air inside. So, okay. So I have a lot of people drinking canned water. How can this be approached and of the benefit to them? Oh, that is an easy one, to be honest with you, because the Kangen water, this here now, what we're doing is we're adding the actual biophotons, the light of life, into the water, along with the 37 frequencies. Now, years back, in the water business, I had done some testing on Kangen water. I don't know what the status is or if they've changed, but some of the things that I do believe that I found out at that time was that it didn't purify the water, if I'm correct. And it did do, was ionizing of the water, and it did work to clean the water in some way, but it didn't take it to that level of purification. Whereas I could do a TDS test on it and come back with a number that would make me happy and comfortable. But again, I'm just saying that it doesn't matter what kind of water this is, that we are enhancing that water's ability to interact with your cells, with your body, the way that life and nature has intended you to have the light of life and the frequencies of life within your water interacting within your cells. Hopefully that answered your question. Okay, so you want them to start with their best source water, absolutely. The worst choice would be microwave city water. Definitely. And the best choice would be medical grade, zero TDS, that's total dissolved solids. And in medical grade, would that not be considered distilled, Paula? Okay, so that's my interpretation of medical grade would be distilled. So yes, the better the water is that you start with, the better the results will be. But overall, it doesn't matter where your water comes from. It's going to be better. It's going to encapsulate toxins. It's going to help to flush them through your system so they're not accumulating in your system. And it's then going to energize, vitalize, and put you in a state of wellness because as the time goes on, and each and every one of you should be understanding and feeling this now. The longer that you're drinking and spraying, the better you actually feel. I think I've mentioned before, my hand used to cramp up and take on that. I don't know if it's trigger finger or what it is, but it literally would lock in a position like that. And the only way I could get it loose is be literally, it's like you're breaking the joints free again. And since drinking the water, it has not happened. I should say, since drinking the water properly, it has not happened since. So these are all things that everybody will notice different things as how things are shifting within your own body. Let's have some more stories. Somebody come on and share a story about your shift. What's going on? How are you feeling? Distilled works. We have a 15-stage system that is a TDS of 0, and that makes it medical grade. It certainly does. Okay. So, if no one wants to share any more stories with me, I'm disappointed. But I was hoping that we would have some new people who would at least have a comment in regards to their experiences so far. Okay. So, with that, at this point, I think we've done a good job of covering these things. In fact, you've been able to spend some time on the website, and things are now taking shape nicely for easy share my referral link and not have to worry about anything else because they can find all the information that they want. I have come across an idea again of how I believe we can interact, make it so that when people go to the website, they actually get a lot of those queries, those questions that they answered in a dynamic way. I'm going to work on that and see if we don't have something like that for us for next week. I think it would be a big plus because the education part of this is the main part of this. And if we can find ways to get the education into people more efficiently, more swiftly, where they get it, because that's a big part of it is people getting it. And I know that when I'm in front of people and able to do my demonstrations and things like that, they get it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But how do we do it when we're doing with online digital marketing and trying to get their attention and bring them here to these Zoom calls, etc. So, oh, yesterday, you said we're going to talk about the marketing plan tonight. Oh, okay. Well, let us do that and let's run through um, the marketing plan. It's not very complicated. So before I do that, I will answer. Someone's asking, is Ian who will be coming? Well, what I can tell you is right now, Ian's on extended vacation. But after he comes back, I will be having discussions with him about our next meeting where he would be able to attend. And I'm shooting for the middle of February somewhere. So I will keep you up to date on that as I get that all sorted out. So in regards to the compensation plan, I don't think I even need a drawing to do this because we already understand the first part. Right now, we have a 199 product. We didn't make it 199.99 or anything of the sort. We just made it 199 flat. We pay out 30%, which would be 59.70, but we didn't stop at the 59.70. We rounded up to $60 so that the calculations would be easy for people. We have that as a direct sale. So you send out or refer somebody to make a purchase who makes a purchase. Your reward is $60. Perfect. That's $60 US. So convert that out into Canadian, you're getting close to $80. So now, when the person you referred refers somebody, they make the 60 US, you make 20 US. So your reward is 10%. So now I call that our retail level, your direct and your sponsor. So next we have a trainer bonus. Your trainer one bonus would be your tier 3, your sponsors sponsored people's first level, your tier 3. That is trainer 1. You've helped your organization, your group, by building a sales team. You're helping to train them how to function, how to use their app. You're showing them how to access their website and the things like that. You're doing the training. You're doing training for tier 3 and for tier 4. Trainer 1, tier 3, trainer 2, tier 4. At trainer 1 and trainer 2, you're receiving 2.5% or $5 per group sale in your structure. Next, so now we've covered your direct, your sponsor, your trainer 1, your trainer 2. Next comes the manager. As a manager, you are overseeing your trainers and your retails. As a manager, you get an additional 2.5% for the sales as they grow through your group. So there's a manager 1 and a manager 2, each paying $5 or 2.5%. So if you do the math, that's $100 in commissions that's going out. So when somebody becomes very, very serious with this and they want to take this as a business type of an approach, you literally have $60 to work with in regards to say that I've got half of the money to go out and I can take my organization and they can be paid this much, I can make this much, and if they do really well, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get this as the structure grows. It's that simple. So 60, 20 is 80, and another 5, 10, 15, 20, $100 out of the 199 instantly gone out to the commission structure. Is that very clear? As in crystal? Do we have any questions on that? Okay, now, additional note in regards to commissions. Starting now, or it's already started now, we have to hold all commissions for the first 30 days to honor the guarantee that we have for people to purchase the app. After 30 days, you will be paid within the next 15 days. By the first of the week, all commission functionalities should be in place without any problems moving forward. How are you paid? So you have options on how to get paid. You can get paid through Wise, which is our preferred way to pay at this point, because Wise, it's a very simple process. You open a Wise account, you attach it to your bank account, we drop the money in your Wise account, and you can transfer it to your bank account. In your Wise account, you can have your funds where you can hold them in US funds or Canadian funds or whatever funds you have an account attached to your Wise account in. So if you're a Canadian and you have a US account and you have a way to transfer those US dollars into your US funds bank, then you could do your funds in US. Otherwise, if you're Canadian and you only have a Canadian bank account, as an example, then you would have your funds sent to you in Canadian funds. So it would just be calculated at the rate for whatever the day says it is, and you would get Canadian funds. So Wise operates in a lot of different countries, and we're able to send funds to um, people all over the world using this system. We can also send funds out through Stripe, which is how people are paying in. And we can also send funds out through PayPal. I would have to, I don't have PayPal turned on right now because we like the way the processing is going through the Skype portal. It's very nice, and I like having all the transactions going through in one location. But I will be talking to my programmers about being able to not have PayPal as a processor, but as a payee. So they would be able to make that adjustment so I can have it just as a payee and not as a processor. So between those three items that we have, that should literally take care of anybody. We do have the option also for people to pay by crypto and actually get paid by crypto, but we're going to leave that off the table for the time being. So, and I hope that answers your question, GJ. Any more questions, comments, anything on the chat? No, good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if I don't see anything else coming in, I will assume you've been satisfied with my voice and my words of wisdom today. And we look forward to seeing you next week. But at the same time, I want to wish you all a very good weekend, happy weekend. But here's the thing. I hear it's going to be really, really, really cold. I think even people in America might be getting it worse than we are by the looks of it. And I don't know who's playing with the weather, but it doesn't look like a normal phenomenon that is going on to me. I don't know how you guys feel about these things these days, but um, things are just being strange. There's strange things going on in the world. Anyway, stay warm, stay safe, and look forward to seeing you next week. Happy energizing. Thank y'all.